Welcome to your tarot therapy, my friend. Today I want to ask the question of what you should actually be focusing on right now. I know there is so many distractions that we have, and sometimes we completely forget what exactly, we were supposed to do, we were supposed to think about, we were supposed to manifest even. There is so many distractions that you have. I'm gonna guess you're spending a lot of time on the internet, like almost all of us these days, and it makes it incredibly hard. But even if you don't, if you spend a lot of time at work, work is very good at distracting you from your true purpose, from what you need to think about or start in order to grow. So, talking about work, 7 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, we're going to keep that in mind. So, let's begin. We have that's interesting. That is very wholesome. The question of what you need to focus on recently. And we got the World card, my friend. You know what that means? That means it's time to go out and not just focus on yourself. which is very funny, because there is a almost, I'm gonna say, a pandemic of self-growth going on. I would say a bit of a fake self-growth, which is constantly just focusing on, the individual, yourself, just yourself, which to a degree is healthy and absolutely necessary, but it's gone a little bit too far. And this card is telling you to not just focus on yourself, not as the only thing to do. So, interesting in the placement of what not to do, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords tells me to not be so incredibly harsh, to judge. The Queen of Swords is very, very powerful, and basically spends most of her time thinking, because sword is the air element, sword is the thinking, it represents the mind. So the Queen of Swords is really there to tell you, in this case, you can't just sit there and just think and try to solve problems of the world, problems of things that are not just yourself. So you can't just sit there and think and judge and think you're gonna solve everything just by or not even not solve everything, but like sometimes people are very, very in their head and thinking, they see everything, they have everything figured out just by having everything observed and being very logical and knowing what's going on. But then that's where they stall. They just sit there like, yeah, I know everyone's stupid. I know the world is absolutely in chaos. Yeah, but that doesn't make anything better, really, does it? It doesn't solve anything. Lately, I'm just gonna, recently, I've had this encounter with someone who had a very angry day, and it was like, election time, and he was like, we were talking about normal things, and he was super, super aggravated, and I was like, why are you so aggravated? What's going on? And he's a very intelligent person, and after a while, it got clear that he was just angry with everyone and everything, because he saw people demonstrating for like a right-wing party, and it aggravated him so much. He was like, everything is fucked, everything is terrible, like the world is absolutely in chaos. There's people who are so stupid. Why they're so stupid, yada yada. And that was him. It was him sitting. He saw a lot of things, and he saw them probably fairly clearly, and he could pick everything out, pick out all the faults. But that's where he stayed. He was just sitting there and complaining and making everyone's the interaction that I had with him, making it not pleasant. And it didn't have to be, because I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with what he was so aggravated about. So what do we need to do instead then? We need to step, you would have guessed it almost, huh? In the Two of Cups energy. And the Two of Cups energy is, getting together. This is not just about love, by the way. People always see this as like, oh, this is the ultimate love card. No, this is two people giving to each other in, and it's also, do you see? Yeah, I mean, it's cups, it's emotion, it is love, absolutely. They're giving to each other in love, but one person is standing in the water and the other person is standing on the ground, on the earth. I mean, in this case it's sand, but it's supposed to be the earth. So together, one person might be more emotional and the other person might be more grounded, and they're giving to each other. They're giving what this person might like a little bit, and this person is receiving what they are lacking a little bit from that person. They're giving to each other. So giving to each other, spending time with each other, trying to understand each other, and just being in this whole energy of we're here for each other. We live in communion. We need to understand each other, help each other, and make up for what the other person maybe lack, so that we can be together as one. Because if being together as one, that's how we create the world we actually wanted to create. Not by sitting there and judging and being like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. Helping to understand each other and giving to each other. That is what we have to do. Yeah, and then what is our outcome? Our outcome is a wonderful card. It is the Star. It is what we actually needed to be in the first place. It is the absolute abundance, the abundance that we all crave all the time, always, everyone. And yet we have so much trouble. Receiving the abundance that is always there, but we just need to use it. We just need to get there and use it. But we can only do that together, with each other, not as the person that is sitting there alone judging. Together we can achieve what we need to achieve. Together we can achieve basically like heaven on earth. Sounds a little bit too much, but I'm gonna say your personal Garden of Eden is possible if you just focus on togetherness more. Focus on togetherness and not being the outside judgy person. You don't want to be that. You want to be this. My friend, I hope this helped. And I'll see you again tomorrow, I guess. But try to implement this specifically today. This might be very important specifically today, and then tomorrow we see what else. But I mean, this is important for every day. But today, do a test run today and see if you focus on the Two of Cups as your daily energy, what happens, and how you can make your life better by making someone else's life better first. I love you, and I see you very soon. Bye.